Pittsburgh Steelers were playing under the lights last night at Acrisure Stadium in their very first action of the 2024 season as they got beat by the Houston Texans 20-12 in their first preseason game. Welcome back to Mic Drop Sports, everybody. I'm Jason. We're here for a special Saturday edition of the show following a game day. And there were some significant high points and some significant low points for this contest for both sides. But we're going to focus currently on the Steelers. 2 injuries to report on, guys, that are of significant note. And that is of Troy Fautanu and Keanu Benton, both of which suffered injuries last night. Not sure the significance in terms of length of time they will be out. Troy Fautanu was seen late in the locker room after the game with a leg brace on, but telling teammates that he was okay. The injury evidently occurred early in the contest as Troy Fautanu played most of the first half for the Steelers, and you wonder what kind of injury that is. Was that the reason that he got beat twice for 2 bad sacks? But Troy Fautanu's overall performance wasn't horrible, but wasn't good in my eyes. I thought that maybe the injury played a little bit into that as you moved forward through that first half, probably having some pride, having some, real guts to stick it out and want to be out there. And maybe that was hindering him a little bit, but we'll continue to see how that develops and unfolds and see what type of injury, because that is a major blow to a guy, especially a rookie, with high expectations right now, and that could definitely prove to be something that is major for the Steelers moving forward, considering maybe any preseason trades, anything like that would force Troy Fautanu to rise up that depth chart. But we'll continue to monitor that. Keanu Benton on the other side of the football for the Steelers, really have high expectations for him also as a key significant player here in 2024 for a defensive front that in my eyes already lacks a lot of quality depth. And you take Keanu Benton out of that equation, and it really hurts the Pittsburgh Steelers. So his injury, in my eyes, is going to be one of major significance for this ball club, and we'll continue to monitor that and see what the length of time is that he will miss and the significance of that injury and what it will be. There were some high points last night. I thought that we'll start with defense, guys. Some of the high points that I seen. Nick Herbig is a monster. Peyton Wilson, for what I saw from him, I thought it was a good performance. Yes, he got beat on a couple routes. I thought he missed a tackle or two. It wasn't a crazy amount. It wasn't a crazy amount getting beat in routes either. The Texans did a good job of getting some mismatches there, but Peyton Wilson definitely had some good things that he did. He was able to fly around, which I really admire that speed, and really get used to playing at an NFL level. I thought that was a good thing for him. He was able to make some nice tackles. He was able to be a contributor. You were able to see his ability out there, his difference that he was making while he was in the game. So that is something that I was really pumped up about to see from Peyton Wilson, because I think he will be the biggest steal of the 2024 draft when it is all said and done and the smoke clears and the dust settles here on the 2024 season. I think that will be the case for sure. You look again at some of the other people on that defensive unit, and I really like some of the play. Some of the play that I didn't like, though, was Beanie Bishop. I thought got beat up a lot last night. So he took his lumps, and I think he had a real welcome to the NFL moment last night. So we'll see how Beanie recovers from that. I thought that he wasn't as great as we've been seeing up in training camp, and that's why I try to tell you guys not to put the blinders on up there when you're watching some of these reps. You really got to dive deep. Now, I really have high hopes on Beanie, and I think he'll continue to recover and continue to grow. But definitely last night's performance in my eyes wasn't fantastic from Beanie Bishop. I'm not sure. Did I mention Nick Herbig? Nick Herbig is a monster, dude. He just flies around the football field, and you got to be impressed with what he is able to do. And I think he will be a significant player in the 2024 season. And if you've watched Mic Drop Sports, you've known how high I've been on Nick Herbig since last year, since before last year's season started, what I thought he could bring to this football team. And I had a video that I told you all, watch out. Nick Herbig is a rising star in the NFL. NFL and for your Pittsburgh Steelers. And I still think that to be true. Now, is there a lot of things to work on in his game? Absolutely there is. He needs to get stronger. He needs to, perfect his moves a little bit more. But his speed, his sense of football know-how are really proven to benefit him in a big way. And I think Nick Herbig will continue to grow and continue to shine this season and beyond. I think Nick Herbig is set up for success in this league with the people that he has around him, with the people that are trying to help him move forward in his young NFL career. The back end of the Steelers defense in terms of the secondary as a whole, I thought that they made some mistakes. Joey Porter Jr. continues to have a little bit of a rough time with penalties this offseason. Training camp, he's getting called a bit. Last night he got called on a significant penalty that I had noticed that stands out in my head right now. I definitely feel like they could have did better. There were some wide open running receivers last night, and you can't have that happen on a continual basis. If you're the Steelers, you need to clamp that down. Again, guys, there was no real scheme or game plan. You're just playing your heads up defense. We know that. But definitely, I think there's work to be done inside of the Steelers secondary, but I still have very high hopes for what they are able to do because nonetheless, guys, yes, there were tons of mistakes on both sides of the football for the Steelers, but there was a lot of things that I see a lot of potential out of too. There's a lot of things that I can really get excited about and stand behind with this football team. And again, you don't get overhype about a loss or overhype about a win in the preseason. You want to look at how they are building. How is this franchise building every single day toward the ultimate goal? The Super Bowl. And that's what you want to pay attention to. And I know that's like a taboo word to say, Super Bowl. Oh, you can't say that with this ball team. Bullshit. That should be your goal all the time. Super Bowl, Super Bowl, Super Bowl. Nothing less. Anything less is a failure in pro sports. Anything less than a championship. So it is what it is, man. But the defense, I definitely thought I saw some good things. But yet again, I saw some things that need some major work, and I think they'll get that done when they head back to camp in St. Vincent's College, Latrobe, Pennsylvania. Let's dive over to the offensive side of the football and talk a little bit about that. And again, Troy Fautanu with that injury, a significant one, with that brace on his leg after the game, saying that he was okay. It happened early in the game, but he had some guts and he stuck it out and he played the majority of the first half of that ball game last night, and you are going to have to monitor that and see exactly how long that takes for Troy to recover. But the offense as a whole, guys, in my eyes, had a lot of deficiencies. 2 fumbles from center to quarterback exchange, and that is a problem. Justin Fields, guys, I put a tweet out. Remember, he has significant fumbling issues in his NFL career. Major issues. And I know a lot of people overlook those, but we have to be mindful. And the turnovers and the fumbles reared their ugly head last night. And Justin Fields definitely was part of that. So you can't put it all on a center probably. You can't put it all on Justin, but he was a part of that. And I think that's something that they need to really be mindful of heading into the 2024 season. So those things I thought for the offense looked rough. There were some high points. Zach Frazier is a stud, guys. Getting to the second level, showing that the athleticism I thought was really, really awesome. I think he won the starting job in the first series that he was in for the Pittsburgh Steelers, which is exciting to me anyway. I think that Zach Frazier was a real beast. I like Mason McCormick's play last night. He was playing a little bit of left guard last night. I remember seeing him there a good bit, so that was pretty cool. I remember getting to see that offensive line just gel a little bit, and I like the way they overall performed last night along that offensive front. I thought it could be better, but I thought that there was still some definite real high points and building blocks for this team moving forward. As far as the wide receiver room goes, I thought that they had an okay performance. And again, guys, I'm going to say it again. Regardless of what they do in any type of trade or any type of acquisition of bringing any other player in that wide receiver room, I like their chances and I like what they are doing. I think you saw what Arthur Smith's offense will be a little bit, and I think they have enough firepower for that wide receiver room right now. Now, if there's an injury, you might be in trouble. But again, I think that they definitely have enough for me to be comfortable heading into the regular season in that wide receiver room. And if I'm the Steelers, I don't go out and make any stupid trades, and I continue to stand pat and continue to put the pressure on the other side when it comes to making a deal. I would not cave, and I would just let it continue to unfold. And if it happens, it happens. If it doesn't, it doesn't. I like the running back room too. I thought that they could have did a little bit better, but you got to see a lot of guys that are third, fourth, fifth on the depth chart last night. But yeah, overall it was okay. Let's go over some of the leaders on offense for your Pittsburgh Steelers. Kyle Allen, 17 of 23 for 193 and one tutty and one interception. Justin Fields comes out 5 of 6, 67 yards for your Steelers in his Steelers debut. You look at the rushing stat sheet, and Dawan Edwards leads the charge with 3 carries for 28 yards on 1 touchdown. Jonathan Ward brings up the rear there with 6 carries and 26 yards. He was the second leading rusher on this football team. The heavy hitters really didn't have much production. We really didn't get to see a ton of them. As far as the receiving core, you saw a decent day for 2 catches, 49 yards, 24 and a half yards per catch out of young Calvin Austin in year 3 of his young NFL career. Scotty Miller brings up the 2 hole there with 3 catches, 47 yards. Des Fitzpatrick, 1 catch, 34 yards on his 1 big play. George Pickens looked nice last night with 2 catches, 25 yards. Jari Jenkins, 2 catches, 22 yards. Van Jefferson, who I thought played really well in totality in routes and things of that nature, 1 catch, 20 yards. Najee with a catch for 16 yards. Other players with little bits of contributions last night. Let's talk a little bit about your tackle leaders on defense. Peyton Wilson with 4 tackles, 2 assists. Beanie Bishop with 4 tackles, solo tackles. Jeremiah Moon, 3 tackles, 2 assists. Ryan Watts, 3 tackles, 1 assist. Jacoby Wyndham, 3 tackles, 1 assist. Kyron Johnson, that middle linebacker trying to make a name for himself, 3 solo tackles last night. So definitely those were the big ones for the Pittsburgh Steelers in terms of statistical guys. You also had in the punting category the debut of Cameron Johnston, the new punter for your Steelers after a dreadful year with Presley Harvin, whom, by the way, signed a 1-year deal with the San Francisco 49ers, ironically. But he is now a 49er, and he has signed a 1-year deal there. But I believe he's already on the reserve injured list. Cameron Johnson, though, last night, guys, 5 punts. 5 punts, 218 yards, 43.6 yards average, 1 punt inside of the 20. I thought his overall performance was actually a breath of fresh air for your Pittsburgh Steelers as opposed to what we saw last year. In the punt return category for the Steelers, you saw a lot of muff punts and things of that nature. I just felt like it was a disaster last night. It didn't really go well. But we'll continue to watch that develop. You had kick returns. John Rice Plumlee, the 4th-team quarterback trying to make a name for himself, has 2 returns for 42 yards, averaging 21 yards a return. Dawan Edwards with 1 return for 27 yards. And you also had Jonathan Ward, the running back, contribute with 1 return, 25 yards. So those were things that, you're watching there. But other than that, those are the statistics. Nothing eye-popping, nothing crazy. But the Steelers, again, take the loss last night to the Houston Texans and go back to get to work and review this tape. And now they have some game tape, and they're going to be able to really dissect some things that they did poorly last night and really work to correct those issues. So that's where we sit, guys. Maybe we'll be back tonight with a live stream to talk about this game, to allow you guys to sound off a little bit and get your voices heard after probably what was a frustrating night for you as a Steelers fan. But I want to caution you. I want you to really be fair in your evaluation, that you can't get too high, can't get too low on these preseason games, and really look at the nuts and bolts of it all and really start to dissect this football team as we move toward the 2024 regular season. So hopefully tonight, and if you're watching now, turn on your notification bell so you know exactly when we go live here at Mike Drop Sports and do our daily uploads and everything like that, and stay up to date with the channel and the happenings going on around our community of thousands of Steelers fans. So hopefully we'll get it kicked off tonight with a live show. We'll see if I have time. But until then, guys, I'm Jason. This is Mike Drop Sports. Peace.